It is 4 o'clock right here on Gabs FM Party Engage Your World. I did promise you that we are getting into a conversation around just being safe online for your kids, basically. This is, I feel at this time a lot happens in terms of Dikolo Ditswetswe. They have all this free time, and at times, looking at the age we live in, they find themselves on air. And this week we're taking a look at that, a way to keep them safe heading into the year 2026 and beyond. And we are in conversation right here with program coordinator for Cyber Smart Botswana's security awareness campaigns and training courses, David Moepeng. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Caleb. How you doing, man? Good afternoon to your listeners.
I'm all good. I'm all good, man. Thank you very much for taking this time to have this conversation with us. There's a lot that happens in terms of when we talk online. I know nowadays, how we're online, a person is only thinking of social media, but online actually there's a lot in terms of there's the gaming aspect. There is all these there's so much that can be looked at when we take a look at online. And you are, through Cyber Smart Botswana, you are an expert in this field. You've been at it for more than 5 years. Just talking cyber smartness. You went to school to get educated more on the nitty gritties of online. So let's get straight into it. So, because we want just like, those safety tips that are essential to keep our kids safe. Now, before we get into the safety tips, what I want to know is when we look at Botswana, what are like the two most common known negative effects or issues that arise negatively from being online?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Caleb. It is indeed essential that we are having such a conversation. As you indicated, the end of year, the third term has just come to an end, and children are spending more time at home now. That means increased use of digital technologies. That means they're spending more time on their devices now, and the internet, as good as it is, as important a tool as it is, it comes with vulnerabilities. It comes with the risks. And we are all vulnerable online. What matters really is how you use it. Cyber Smart Botswana as a program is really designed to keep users enlightened through education, through awareness, so they can be able to use digital tools meaningfully, responsibly, and safely. And children especially, we have programs that are designed for children, because we realize that, yes, we are all vulnerable online, but children are a lot more vulnerable because they're still growing, they're still developing, and therefore, some things they may not have, the wisdom to navigate and be able to tackle certain challenges like us adults. So children spending more time, that in itself is a risk. There's a risk of excessive use, excessive engagement in online spaces, and it impacts negatively on children's psychological, mental well-being, and can impact on their emotional well-being, because of the fact that online spaces, they are so immersive. When one does not have safeguards and controls in place, they run the risk of excessive use, and therefore that can really scroll the whole day. In the evening you would feel some heaviness. You would feel like there's something wrong with you, and you wonder what's wrong with you. What's wrong with me? Is because digital tools are designed in such a way that when you use them excessively, they can impact negatively on your emotional well-being, on your psychological well-being, and lead to mental or impact on your mental health. So those things we must understand. Children especially by affected thata ke dikgang tse dintseng yang. We ask ourselves, o stressed yan ha ngo didimetse hela ga batla go bua, or how it can lead to anxiety. These tools can be addictive, huh? I know officially social media, gaming, I think we are there where gaming can be classified, negative effects of gaming can be classified as a health disorder. But we can tell research has indicated that indeed, these tools, if not used appropriately, they can impact on our mental health, especially mobile.
So you'd say during, throughout your work and everything, one of the things you picked up, its effects, its negative effects on the youth of Botswana mentally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right. Not through my work. Look what I have two boys. My youngest is 12, so and that is the stage mo botshelong e leng gore bana ba khona go helela ba dirisa devices hela thata, and some of these things I see them at home and in other people's homes as well, and even in the seminars that we run, we have a program called Cybersmart Parenting, where we workshop parenting on effective parenting, techniques, particularly for bana bone ba tshelang ka technology, because often you'd find that the average parent, especially mo Botswana re lemogile gore the average parent is often not adequately informed on exactly what children do online, on the impact it has on their well-being and the risks they face, and how to manage that effectively. So these are things that you hear every day. I mean, I remember she has a 21-year-old daughter, and she has graduated go UB. But throughout, and she suspects from one addicted. Wow. I think she had heard me on radio in one of the radio stations talking about internet addiction, and she was like, internet addiction. And like I said, these things, they're gaming. It's addictive. I mean, in places like South Korea, in China, they have rehabilitation centers for gaming addicts. A gaming addict for rehabilitation the same way a drug addict, and there are videos on YouTube, so you can check them out. So you look at center how they behave when they've reached that stage where they can't control their gaming, and they just want to be on the whole day. Affect even their physical health.
Yeah, because you're not eating, you're not getting that sustenance that your body needs. Right, in conversation right here with David Moepeng, who is a cybersecurity expert. What we're going to do, because it's a Saturday, Mr. Moepeng, we're not trying to spend a lot of time talking. So what we're going to do, we're going to just after this, we're going to get into the like 3 safety tips that one can get into. And what we'll do, what I promise is, when the year starts, we'll get to do more of these sessions on air, just to to help a person out there in terms of dealing with all of these things. Because I can say this, even as motomotona gaming, yes, you can find yourself spending more than 2 hours just because like now you're engaged in the game, especially like, let's say if you're playing, let's say your NBA, you're playing league mode or whatever, career mode or whatever, like you get locked in. So I can imagine now for Motoela Wore, okay, I have to have a stopper somewhere. How it gets. So we're going to get more into that after we check out Khalid with Better. It is Love's Lounge on a Saturday. Good afternoon.
Kasane. Power to engage your world is on 97.7 FM.
It's Khalid with Better right here on Gabs FM. Power to engage your world. It's 4:15. Mr. Moepeng, we have all of 5 minutes. Like I said, it's all about the tips that can help us this festive season to keep our kids safe. Speaking with David Moepeng, who is cyber expert, basically. That's the best way to put it. Before this, we're just going through some of the issues that he's seen or come across while doing his work within Botswana as to what kids get to deal with. We talked about, the gaming aspect. We talked about being on devices for such a long time. But, the easiest way that one would say to try keep your child safe online is basically monitoring what they consume. But it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, active parenting, be involved, understanding what children do online, understanding the risks they face. Well, often when we ask parents, what do you think children do online? We're talking about, no, I know what they watch videos, they play games, and then they listen to music. You need to know what risks come with streaming videos, streaming platforms. I remember cartoons. And then in the middle, there's an ad. I think they were demonstrating how to commit suicide. How to tie a rope and
this is within the video.
This is within the video.
Because one thing that I've noticed, they'll take the common cartoons and they reanimate them and
show crazy things. Yeah, so parents need to understand that and monitor what children are doing online. So also what we do as parents are about the parental controls. They ask us all the time, what app do I need on my phone? But like, okay, parental controls work because they enable you to monitor what your child is doing online. But also you need to be involved actively because children are smart, huh? They can bypass these parental controls. There was a lady that came to us, she had parental controls on her modem. She was trying to lock her children's devices out of the modem sometime, and instead they locked her out, and she couldn't use it. She couldn't access her Wi-Fi.
There are all these tutorials that are available on YouTube that can tell you this is what you need to do this.
With technology, you can always find a way of bypassing.
Now, apart from the close monitoring, I know, look, unfortunately for most people, they may not have much, but all they have is a phone and data. So, because at least they get a chance to take a breather because there's no help in the house. But the phone is there. It has data, it has all these things. So yeah, obviously they're going to access all these apps that we've been talking about. What other best way or what other apps should parents be extra careful on giving kids? Because you find that nowadays kids as young as your 5-year-olds, your 4-year-olds are exposed to a lot of these apps.
Absolutely. TikTok. TikTok. I think often we think, TikTok, the video. But remember, TikTok videos are very short. Like your 10 seconds, 20 seconds videos. Those videos are dangerous because what they do, it rewires to a point where all she wants is just short things. One thing a movie, one thing a soccer match here 90 minutes. A 1 hour movie. Anything longer than an hour because she's used to watching short things. And then also one thing, look what class in safari because it affect the attention span. For about 40 minutes. We feel like there's 40 minutes
too much
because she's not used to consuming content. So she wants things in bits and pieces. And also YouTube. Also, it's what you do with what happens with YouTube is one of the video. On the side, on it recommended, they look better. So when I think Hanka hits a video, while she's still watching that video, he's still watching that video. So when I think Hanka hits a sepe. Short.
So let me ask this. You find that you can, with YouTube, especially if, let's say, you bought a child, a tablet or whatever, you can, until they learn to go online, you can always switch off the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Until would you say making sure that you download for them offline? Is it like a better way to navigate?
Absolutely. But now we're trying to encourage parents, and I know, Lynn, I'm guilty of this really, making time to engage with your children and communicate and have conversations around effective use of digital technology so that they are part of the management process. Because often what we say as parents, we say, don't do this, do that. Let's I only allow you to do 1, 2, 3, and I don't allow you to use devices relaying. But children being children, they always find a way. So it's important that we becoming involved physically. And Rona, unfortunately, I don't know whether it's unfortunately or fortunately, we became parents at a more demanding time.
Yeah, in this digital era.
But I'm sure they
no, they went through the same thing, because I got now TVs were in households, so you get exposed to all these things you see in movies. So maybe it was different because we are not as connected as we are now.
Yes, absolutely. So we need to be involved. We need to make sure that we make time. Parents often say, "Hey, David, where are we going to get the time?" I said, "No, we
make time.
It's just that, it's not that we don't have the time.
You should make it.
Not make the time."
Mr. Moepeng, you know what? Like I say, we'll definitely call you again next year. So look out for keeping away from the short videos, the different apps that we've been talking about. There are many others that we haven't mentioned. Sometimes we don't want to I'm going to game online.
Yes, they use vulgar language.
You need to check that as well. And David Moepeng from Cybersmart Botswana. Thank you very much. Where can one find you quickly?
Thanks, man. Cybersmart Botswana team Facebook. Follow us. Let's communicate there.
Love's Lounge.